Hello, my name is Bmm and I am an instructor and examiner, and I'm also a low inspection engineer for my own company, Bmm Training. I'm an accredited training organisation for both ITSAR and BRITOP, as you see here. I'm a health and safety consultant and my company is Bmm Training. Now, like you guys, I was in prison, so in 07 I had got a bit of time. But I was also in time in the south before that. So once up here in 2007, once in the north. Now this all caused problems with me and lost my kids. So before I went to prison I knew I had issues, so I started counselling with the drug addiction team and the alcohol up in Hope Centre in Ballymena, which deferred me to Coleraine to a gentleman, Paul McKenna, who I seen for a while before I went to prison. So I'd already lost my mind. I knew I was out of control and I needed help. Look, I had post-traumatic stress syndrome, I had ADHD and severe depression, which all had built up on me and was a catalyst for basically drugs, drink and anything was going, getting in trouble, fighting, whatever. Now while in prison I bumped into a place and one told me about Niacro. So I arranged a meeting and thankfully while there I'd met a woman from Niacro. Now she had chatted to me about my interests, what I was good at, what I'd done. I'd explained to her that I had used machinery a wee bit before and I sort of knew what me at. So little did I know that day that talking to her and once I come out that I would go and meet her. So I met her whenever I was out, and that one meeting with Niacro actually changed my life. So it would be a start of a new beginning for me and my family. So I'd always operated different types of equipment, but I never had a license. So when Niacro had offered me the chance, I jumped at it. So the thing was, while I was away for courses, guys, there was once I booked in for courses and I had noticed them not appearing. So while I was in for courses, I had said to the people, the instructors, look, if somebody doesn't come, if you ring me, the spot's paid for, would you mind transferring? And they said no. So I'd also mentioned it then to Niacro. So not only had Niacro arranged a course for me, then I had sort of arranged that I'd noticed ones hadn't came and realised that the places were paid. I'd sort of my foot stepped in for other courses if it popped up. So first of all, I had to get myself sorted out. So as I told you, before I went to prison, I'd used treatment counselling. So while in prison, I'd used Norflins, I'd availed of their services, the ear acupuncture, which I found very relaxing and a great deal. Got you yourself for a while too, and lying with ones from different wings and stuff that you never really seen or met. So you got to chat out around with different fellas. I also then used counselling. So I used it in jail and outside jail. Look boys, for any recovery or for you take your life to any other place rather than come back any trouble, there's a lot of things you have to do. One thing you have to be aware, so you have to go and do courses. Me myself, I chose to do the drug education while I was in prison. You know, I was preparing myself for release. Now, as I said, Norflins will put you through some of these courses. I also used the substance misuse, as you see with my certificates. So that was the start of me actually starting to educate myself, and I didn't even realise. So the biggest problem in life is no one wants to admit to themselves they have issues. And I had plenty of issues, that was for sure. The second thing is to get help. Us men are proud, and I hope using women or men or whoever's listening to this wee thing that's going to maybe help them someday. You know, ask for help. There's help there, but you have to ask and you have to go. The other thing is you need to educate yourself. Like, you need to understand what is the problems, why you're doing what you need to do, and also what all leads to. But if you don't understand that with being in jail, you know, we're sort of going somewhere in the wrong direction. So on my release, I had to also then think about my children, because any man, woman that's not seen their kids or whatever, like, the kids are probably wondering what they have done wrong, is it their fault, or, you know, so you put things in process. My method was, I was told I'd probably not get to see them, but I wanted the courts or somebody to write that in paperwork so that my kids someday, I could say to them I tried, that I just didn't leave them. I tried, I was either told no or was told yes. So with my exes, I took the ex-partner to court. I knew it wasn't going to be easy because they dug their heels in and we didn't speak anymore. So this was a war, and I was over a contact centre, and I did jump at the chance, but in your head you wonder, is this social services, is people watching me, it's scary, you haven't seen the child for a while. So the whole thing's a build up, and getting your head through it, and actually a lot of people don't go to. But at the end of the day, they're your kids. Their most important thing is to make amends. If you've done something wrong, there's always time to make amends if you're man enough or woman enough to own up and do your best to prove to the kids that you have changed and you are trying. So, as I didn't want to speak to the other parent, this was the only way I could get access with my children. So, I went to the contact centre. I got on that well at the contact centre, as you see. We made buns, had fun. I got on with other parents. I had a great experience. I didn't realise at that time they enjoyed my company that well, thought I was good crack and everything got on that well, that they basically asked me to come down one day and help train the staff, which I volunteered that I would because the place was brilliant to me, and without them I wouldn't go up to see the wee girl. Now me and the wee girl have been in contact. She stays with me, we've got on great ever since. Now, so I went to the contact centre, I done my wee day, and I got a letter to say thank you. So between times I was sent for some courses. Now the first course I was sent for was a telescopic handler, and I done my licence. I couldn't get any work after that for a wee while. Now I was also watching my other child for a while my partner was at work, and I was sort of stuck between a rock and a hard thing because I was unemployable, as people would basically say. So myself, I'd got a phone call to say there was another chance of another course. I don't think the course was for me, but somebody hadn't appeared, and they offered me the course. Now, by the luck of that day, while I was at that course, I bumped into an individual that I'd actually met in prison. We didn't see eye to eye at prison, but the two of us were out, we were free, and we were both man enough to step up and go for this course. While I was there chatting to the fella, I'd realised they was struggling with doing the course. Now, this was his last go, it was his last chance, and if he hadn't passed it. So they left me alone, me and him went to the side, and me and him had a chat. I could drive a digger okay, so I spent my time working with the fella to see if he could understand me a bit better, and thankfully he did. Like, we got on the best, we have the same background, we were just out of prison, and he passed his test. Now at that point, while I was doing that, one of the instructors had noticed, and he had rang Niacro, and he had said to the woman in at that time, look, there was something, basically that I had learnt the fella where they couldn't, and they had done the classroom. So I done my instructor's course. Now I'm not good at English, I'm not good at spelling, and I'm not good at writing, and sometimes I'm not even good at speaking, but I've got here anyway. So I failed that course. Now while I was up there and I watched, I learnt a bit, and in my head I just wasn't done. There was something in me telling me that this just wasn't going to give up. So I went home, I sat down, and I thought, what was my weakness? My weakness was the computer, the spelling, the making PowerPoints presentations. And I said to myself, I'll do a course. So I went and done an ECDL course up at the local centre. I'd also got family and friends, Tom and a winner ones round that knew what they were at. And between them all, they sat down and got me the basis of laying out a presentation. So I then took the backbone up and I went for a second time. And between that, I'd sat for 6 months making up all the PowerPoint presentations that I knew I would need for the course. I read, I studied, and I'd done my background, which I hadn't done the first time. So I passed the course. So I could now teach, but I had only 3 courses, and I had to go and try and get a job. Now, it was easier for me to get a job. I thought, right, I'll start my own business and try and work for myself. So to start your own business, the first thing you'll have to do is go to Start Your Business program at your local Go For It centre with Invest Northern Ireland. They will sit down, they will help you do a business plan. You need the business plan if you're going to try and get any finances, grants or whatever, depending on who you go to and what age, and depending on what you're doing. So the second thing I had to decide, as you see down here, I had to pick somewhere, where am I going to get to work? So I drove around the country and I asked everybody, I showed them the qualifications and what I was trying to do. But as you'll understand, we're all ex-prisoners, and sometimes it takes a wee while for people to understand that that's not who we are, and we're trying our best to change it. So this gentleman said to me he had a farm shed. Now I know at the outside it doesn't look like much, and I know on the inside you can't see it. But I had it in my head the minute I opened the door. I sort of knew what I wanted and where I wanted it. So me and a few friends who wanted to help me out, good friends, come up and we started erecting what I wanted in my vision. So In this old shed we built rooms, we built a kitchen, toilets, health and safety area, and then I got the advertising going. So I got a wee van, stuck my name and all on her, designed a web page which you'll need, and as you see the free courses, this is what it started off. So you'll need some sort of advertising, and you need something to make your business work so it makes it known. Before I could open my place, we have to call over an inspector. So an inspector has to come from England. He has to inspect the premises to make sure that it's health and safety proper and that everything's there that you need, and basically you have some knowledge of what you're at. So thankfully that man came over that day. So officially on the 17th of March 2010, Bmm Training had its first premises and opened and passed its course to become an accredited operator training organisation. As you see here, the client on the forklift truck, I'm learning him to steer. So he operates the truck in between these. He steers to the left, to the right, learning to use his pivot point and also looking forward and back at the contact points. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different wee courses. Square course. And down here. This here, once you learn to do this, then I set the pallets up out around the edge. And this is to get you to learn to drive and operate in a confined area, confined space, in a controlled environment. And by the time you've done all that, as you see in some of the pictures, there's racking systems. So eventually you'll end up getting in and out of the racking system, placing, retrieving loads, ground level, eye level and high level, depending on which one I asked you to do. So when I first opened, I wrote a list, courses, goals. One of my main goals was I wanted to teach my son to operate so that he would never have to get in trouble. So he has now 4 or 5 licenses, and also he trained himself for his way training to be a plumber. So he has his own career, but he has also a fallback. My goals for me and for my business and what I want to achieve, because if you don't set goals, you've nothing to aspire to, nothing to aim at. So me myself opening the business, I truly didn't know if it was going to last, going to work. So my goal was not to pay me so big wages and to do 5 at least courses every year that I stayed open, to leave me a chance of being more employable when it came to if the business didn't work and I had to go looking for work. So I wrote a hit list and put it in my wallet. Now every time I completed 5, I wrote a new list and I put it in my wallet. Remember, failure is temporary. Giving up makes it permanent. Now, as I was explaining to you earlier, with each one of these trucks and different types of equipment they use, you have different categories. The categories are sizes. So, as the machine gets bigger, it's a different test, a bigger category to make sure that you know what you're at and you're fit to operate all the different types. So you have 7 different categories there. You have 4 here. So, as we keep going through it, you'll understand that my goals and the 5 courses with me aiming for and how I went about it. Now in that I also teach them all the counterbalances, which is 4 separate categories, and you've also gas, diesel and electric trucks. I also then have a supervisor's course. So not only now can I operate each one of these pieces of equipment, I can then teach you or any other client how to operate them and pass you the test. Register it with ITSAR or BRATOP and get you a certificate and an operator's license. Right, while doing that, I also done a forklift supervisor's course. So, as I said at the start, I was also an inspectional engineer. So if I land to a site and this machine hasn't a certificate to say that it should be used at work, I can also then test the machine and issue an MOT to allow every piece of equipment that you see in these slides and PowerPoints. I now inspect them for their MOTs. If they're in good working order, I sign them off and stamp the machine with the further examination certificate. So I'm an examiner instructor who teaches the clients to drive, but I'm also an inspector who checks the machine to make sure it's in proper working order under the provisions of work equipment regulation. Now, I'm not going to go through all the categories, but as you see, there's different types of lift trucks. So I hold a license to teach clients each one of these trucks, and also then I have the license to operate them. and I have then the qualifications to inspect them to make sure that they're good enough to be in the place of work. You have different types. You have side loader, the man up, man down. As you notice, there's a man there. This machine raises the man up and down. This one raises the load. This one will be slimmer, which fits into tighter areas. There's also a transportable forklift which goes onto the back of lorries, which I also teach. You have combi lifts, pivot steers, side loaders, reach trucks, telescopic hammers, different sized container hammers. So every image you see here of every type of equipment, you have a telescopic from a J1 to a J8 360 telescopic, which rotates and can be used as a crane. You have the small of these to the larger, and you have all container hammers. Every picture I show and every category that's in here, I as an instructor examiner teach this, and then as an inspector I also MOT them to make sure that they can be used at work. Now as you see here, there's different types of MEWPs. There's mobile ones which you can move. There's static ones which are maybe lorry mounted, trailer mounted, lorry mounted cranes, tail lifts, skip lorries, slinger signaler, vehicle marshal. I teach all these courses and hope that someday whenever you maybe get out that you'll go to Niacro, there's a chance they might send you to me. I teach all sizes of dumpers, all sizes of diggers, loading shovels, tractor and trailers, dozers, tandem road rollers, piling rigs, drill, crushers, 4x4 off-road vehicles, tug masters for taking the back of the containers around yards, transportation of plant machinery, chaining the machine to the vehicle to make sure that it doesn't fall off, transportation, work quads, working heights, fire marshal, safety harnesses, confined spaces, ladders, cable avoidance tools, loading and flashing of loads, gully emptier and jetting units, manual handling, overhead cranes, abrasive wheels, compactors for paper, plastic, chainsaws, hedge trimmers, basically all gardening or lawnmowers, skid steer, first aid, and a bit of proof to you guys. As you see, the back of my old license is all the categories. My new one's on the way. I'm now accredited for 2 different awarding bodies. I've worked in power stations, Harlan and Wolf, Asda, Larn, that's me. I am now an inspection engineer. Bmm Training can test all machines, MOT them and get them ready for the place of work. And in 2012 I was asked to do this, but G4S didn't give me clearance. So instead of being fake, I made a wee PowerPoint presentation. That time I wasn't secure enough to stand up in front of it, so I done a voiceover. This time I thought I would do something a wee bit different, and I would stand up and I would let the gentleman see that was good enough to write me a wee letter. Thank you. I cherish the wee letter. It's still here and I'm still using it. Thank you very much. Now, what a lot of ones didn't expect me to do, how I achieved, how did I get here? The first thing I did was I moved away from all the negative people, all the people around me that were no good, the ones that didn't come and visit me, the ones that just would bring me back into the trouble. At the end of the day, the ones that were no different from the day I left to the day I was back. I believed in me. I kept thinking I could do something. Even when people told me I couldn't, I kept trying. I studied, I read books, I downloaded operators' manuals, I read up on the machines before I went. So I had done my homework. I asked for help. I availed of any service and any person that would help me with drug counselling or alcohol abuse, mental health, doctors, Niacro. I went to the Princess Trust. I went round every organisation I could possibly get that I thought would help me to achieve some of these goals at least. I made achievable goals. I set 5 machines, 5 pieces of equipment, and roughly a year. Now that was good for me because that was the sort of job that I was aspiring to do. I didn't give up. Even whenever things weren't working out for me, I wasn't getting work, people were knocking me back, I didn't give up. I set achievable goals and I aimed for something. I removed negative people. I point blankly live here. I moved away to Torhead. I've kept myself away from everybody. Everybody that gave up on me, I just keep myself, I believe in me. I've been lucky enough now that me and my family, my brother and my father and my children have now opened a boxing club. I am a level 1 AABA coach. I have been passed my access for working with children north and south. I have attended the different courses, one working from children, from coaching children 5 to 10. Also sports NI, safeguarding children and young people in sport. We took children to the novices. We have only opened as 8 months. So far we have 13 novice champions, and this Saturday we have 2 boxing in the final, which might bring the total up to 15, and we aren't even open a full year. So for all the help I've got and for all the people that backed me out, I have came through, I have done all my courses. I am now one of the top instructors, and I would say in Northern Ireland and Ireland. I'm not sure about the UK, I'd have to check, but I'm doing rightly. For 2 different awarding bodies, and I run my 2 separate businesses. One's an inspection company for checking the machines, and the other's a training company. Now, how did I do this? When I went looking for grants, I was too old for the Princess Trust. It's for under 30s. So if you're under 30 and you have an idea or you might need help, the Princess Trust is there to help young people. Very good service. You've invested in Northern Ireland, or I'm sure if you go and talk to Niacro or some of the companies that I use, Northlands or one of different ones, they might know nowadays what's more up to date. Now, I would like you to come train with me and remember the name Brian McMullen, Bmm Training. We do understand where you're coming from. I was where you were at, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I am now today an examiner, instructor. I run my own company. I have 2 companies working under the same thing. One's the examiner company for training people. The other one's a testing company for my inspections. I have worked all over the country, from Dublin, Portsmouth, Burnley, Doncaster, all around Belfast. I have, before 10 years open, I was in Harlan and Wolff working. I joked about it, funny enough, at the time, and I ended up there. Never give up on yourself. If you have an idea, stick with it. Even when it's getting tight, don't give up. There's certain things, and just to show you I wasn't joking, to this day, I still write my wee list. My goals list. I'm now aiming for a pilot. I just stopped writing 5 and I just read the list, and I've already went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the ones that's on that there. There's 22, 6 is done. I'm only registered with this new company since just before Christmas, and I have 6 courses updated and a few more to go on my license. So keep your wee goals, write them down, take them out every now and again, read through them. If you get them, mark them off. Once one's done, set it aside and do another wee goals. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank a lot of people that helped me get through all this. I'd like to thank Niacro. I'd like to thank Anna Burns, who worked at it that time. I would like to thank Paul McKenna, who was my drug counsellor, John Normer, who helped me with my children, the Hope Centre, who helped me and sent me for counselling, drug addiction team, Northlands Independent Place, and basically all my people who has helped, the family and friends who stood by me. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you all, and I hope someday I will see you soon, and hopefully it'll be in a better way to hopefully do courses at my